You've been nothing but a thorn in my side since day one. But I am from Tokyo, the great, and I'll not be outdone.
Welcome to Book Time with Ryan. I am Ryan. Wow, I got a lot of white hairs in my beard. I'm getting old. Welcome to Book Time with Ryan. I am Ryan, and today I will be talking about Gary K. Wolfe's Who Censored Roger Rabbit. On my Kindle, this is the cover. I got a new case for my Kindle too. Let me just tell you that I love this case. Look, it has this little loop there for your hand, and also has a little stand, and I think it looks pretty cool. This book was published. Sorry, I'm charging right now. This book was published. Maybe that works. There we go. This book was published in 1981, and I really enjoyed it. I've been kind of waiting. I've been looking at this book for a while because I thought I was gonna. Before I had my Kindle, I was gonna buy it. And I was like, I need to get the real one, like the expensive first edition or uncorrected proof or something. I didn't, but I can't figure out what angle I want to do on this. But I got it, and I got it on Kindle because it was just like, why not? And I watched the movie. I am gonna do a review, like a comparison of the book and the movie. They're so far apart. But so I watched the movie a long time ago. It's been a while, and I kind of was expecting that, and I did not get that from this at all. So it's gonna be interesting to do the comparison because they're so far apart. I used for my thumbnail the Roger Rabbit from the movie, which is an Oscar-winning movie. It won 2 Oscars, and it was also produced or directed or whatever by Steven Spielberg, which was surprising. So I was kind of expecting the movie. This is not what it was. This is like a good 30s, 40s detective novel. We have some of the same characters. Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit is different, though. The picture in the thumbnail is from the movie. He's described, if you go back and look at the screenshot from my Kindle, he's brown with some white parts, but he's not like that white rabbit. And so it's really like a detective novel that takes place in this world where humans and toons coexist. I kind of felt like the toons were, it's almost like a commentary on race relations where toons are minorities. Kind of like toons moved into his neighborhood, and the people are like, oh my gosh, this neighborhood's gonna get so bad, and just like toons in sports, and it just kind of felt a little bit like that. This is 1981, so I don't know how much of that was going on in 1981. We're seeing this through the eyes of Eddie Valiant. Eddie Valiant is a private investigator. He's in the movie too. He's a good guy. Like, he definitely is annoyed by Roger Rabbit, but he's generally a good guy and does things for the right reason, which was cool. What was that person doing? Oh. They're charging. So Eddie Valiant is hired by Roger Rabbit because Roger Rabbit feels like the syndicate that he is using for his comic series movies is not treating him fairly. He was promised to have a starring role in his own strip, and he is a supporting cast member for Baby Herman. It's kind of funny. Baby Herman. He's a baby. He's an adult. He's 36 years old. He's a baby though. He wears diapers and stuff. So he's still supporting Baby Herman, but he was told verbally by the two brothers, the Greasy brothers, especially Rocco, who runs the syndicate, the comic syndicate, that he would get his own strip, and he's not getting that, and he wants to find out why. So he hires Eddie Valiant to do that. Also, Roger Rabbit's wife, Jessica Rabbit, was kind of stolen by Rocco DeGreasy too. And there's also Dominic DeGreasy is his brother, and they run the business. Rocco's kind of the brains and the money behind it, and Dominic is the muscle. So he hires Eddie Valiant. Everything looks like Jessica Rabbit's just kind of a bitch. She is kind of a bitch. And it's not clear why they're not giving Roger more love. But then we also find out that somebody offered to buy Roger out and hire him for their comic company, and DeGreasy's wouldn't let him do that either. And that's where we are. So Eddie Valiant's walking around trying to figure out what's going on, and then he finds out that Roger Rabbit thinks he's being tailed and threatened because he gets a pie in the face. Roger Rabbit gets killed. And Eddie Valiant now is trying to figure out who killed Roger Rabbit. Not to be confused with Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Who Censored Roger Rabbit. Who killed Roger Rabbit? It must be Rocco. Well, you know what? It's not Rocco, because Rocco is also dead. Who killed Rocco? We think Roger Rabbit, maybe. Or maybe it's Carol, I think, Waters, one of the photographers who covers the comics that Baby Herman and Roger Rabbit do. Maybe it's Jessica Rabbit. Maybe it's Sleazy Slam Sleazy or something like that. I forget his name. There's ins and outs. There's a lot of back and forth. Most of this book is trying to figure out who did what. Eddie Valiant's going all out to figure this out. But the curveball is, before Roger Rabbit died, he created a doppelganger. And Toons are able to do that. They're able to create a short-term version of themselves. And Roger Rabbit's doppelganger is Roger Rabbit. He's helping out too. Nobody knows that Roger Rabbit doppelganger exists, and he shouldn't be able to last as long as he is. But they're trying to get to the bottom of it. Well, we find out that Jessica Rabbit was involved in some kind of toon porn. Right? That's not in the movie. We find out that Jessica Rabbit was involved in a very sleazy movie when she was 18, and she may have been drugged to do it, or we find out maybe she really likes doing it too. She's very manipulative, Jessica Rabbit. We also find out that everyone's looking for this tea kettle that Roger had, and everyone wants it for a different reason. Some people think it's full of gold and diamonds and stuff. Jessica says that they got it together at an antique store and she wanted it. Yeah, so they all kind of want this tea kettle, and police are involved. Now, this is a toon and human world, but generally toons and humans don't like to mix a lot, and the police force, the humans will cover the human crimes, the toons will cover the toon crimes. They have like gorillas that are playing in the NFL and ruining the sport because they're so much more athletic, and the high jump is being done by these cartoon kangaroos, and it's just a lot to kind of absorb, I think, for the people of the time and the toons of the time. And that's kind of what happened. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit more. If you're not going to read this for yourself, and you don't care about having spoilers, keep watching. If you care, well, before we go to the spoiler piece of this video, which I don't always do, it's so different and it came out of left field by the end of it. One of the interesting things is, there is a comic line. I think I did a video actually about it. If I did, I'm going to include it now, right here. Captain Carrot and his zoo crew. Captain Carrot's name was Roger Rabbit. And I wanted to look up before I did this video. I totally forgot, when did Captain Carrot and the zoo crew, when was it created? This book is from 81, so if it was after 81, I think they wanted to change the name. Eventually, Roger Rabbit in Captain Carrot became Rodney Rabbit. R. Rodney Rabbit. I guess so he wasn't Roger Rabbit. The weird thing was, the original iteration of Captain Carrot looked like Roger Rabbit as described in the book, not the one from the movie. All right, now here's the spoiler part, because it comes out of left field and is interesting. Are you ready? All right, here's a spoiler. This is for the book. The killer is two different things. It turns out this teapot, this tea kettle, is actually a magic tea kettle with a genie in it. And the genie is so fed up of being used as a genie that he stole a pistol from Blackbeard, the pirate, long ago. And when Roger Rabbit went to Rocco, why? He killed him. Roger Rabbit killed him. Non-doppelganger Roger Rabbit killed Rocco. Didn't know that people were going to see him. People did. He went back to his house. Other people came. Jessica came. Roger Rabbit was singing their song, which is When You Wish Upon a Star. One of the lines in the song is actually the magic words to have the genie come out. And the genie, as soon as he came out, shot and killed Roger Rabbit. He had been brought out a number of times by Roger. Roger didn't mean to summon him. It was just happening. I think he would just like sing that song and then kind of hope for things, and those became the dreams. His dreams became true. The wishes were granted, but he had no idea. The other people involved, Rocco and Dominic, they knew. Jessica knew, I believe. So that is how Roger Rabbit died. He died because of a genie. And then Eddie Valiant kind of fights the genie and kills the genie. And unframes Roger. And the thing about the doppelgangers is they eventually do fall apart. So by the end of it, our Roger Rabbit doppelganger is falling apart. He's dying after like 2 days of being created. We find out from the doppelganger Roger Rabbit that they were trying to... He killed Rocco with a .38, and he was going to try to frame Eddie. Which was kind of disappointing, because I really did like Roger Rabbit until I kind of found out by the end he was not a great guy. Which was surprising, because he had a lot of people fooled. There's also this whole like fraud scheme going on in this world too, for fraudulent reproduced comic strips, and Rocco's son is involved with that. We also find out Rocco and Dominic were toons, and one of the wishes that they had was to become human. And because this genie only works on toons, it's a toon genie. Also, because the genie was so tired of helping people or being forced to do things, he put expiration dates on the wishes. So after a year or two, things would start to kind of reverse course. And that's what we were seeing with the Toon Syndicate, the Cartoon Syndicate, and the Comic Syndicate, and the DeGreasy Brothers. So that is the book. I liked it. I would give it 5 stars. It was very entertaining. Kept you guessing. I cannot wait to watch the movie and compare them. I know they're so far apart, but I want to be a little more specific when I watch it. So that's going to happen soon. I'm pretty sure it's not appropriate for kids. My wife said so. So we may have to find an appropriate time to do it. But that is it here. So I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.
I've had enough of you. So